Have you ever felt that whisper in your soul calling you to something more, but all the things spinning around in your mind have kept you stuck? Well, what if I told you that choosing excellence could be both easier and more adventurous than you could ever imagine? I am Chelsea DeBruin-Colbert, your host of All Things Excellence. I'm a soul catalyst for excellence who leapt off that corporate cliff and left small town Iowa farm life in my 20s to follow my calling, helping women come home to themselves by anchoring into who they're designed to be. I create sacred containers where women rediscover their truth, design their dream life, and transform those whispers into action. Now you can find me running my business from the soccer sidelines as a coach's wife, hiking my favorite Arizona mountain, or back in Iowa with my family, or on an adventure chasing my next sunrise, hot cup of coffee and journal in hand. Through intimate conversations about the stories, the traumas, and the transformations behind choosing excellence, we're creating a collective healing journey together. I believe in diving deep into personality designs, experimenting boldly, and learning life's greatest lessons through our beautiful chaos. Every week, my guests and I are going to rip down the curtains so you can see behind the scenes of real transformation as we explore what excellence actually looks like. Not just the highlight reel, but that messy middle where the magic happens. Whether you're seeking inspiration to take that leap or already on your journey and craving connection, this is your invitation to join us. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready to discover just how close you are to the life your soul is calling you to create. This is All Things Excellence. Hey, All Things Excellence fam. Today we are ready for Enneagram 3s in our little Enneagram Spring series. And today I have my friend Nikki, who is an Enneagram 3, obviously. She works for a technology company as a sales manager. And you achieve big things,
Try
right?
to.
I think that you were very successful at a young age,
Yeah.
right? You see your 3 achiever kind of came out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Wanting to perform all the time. Yep. And I see it in my 4-year-old, of course. Now.
She's also a wife and a mom of a 4-year-old son and 2 fluffy Aussie doodles. So we first met, I got to work with you on the Enneagram. We got to talk about that, learn about that. You are a 3, your husband is a 5. Yes. And just what that looks like for y'all in
Yes.
marriage.
Very exciting stuff.
I know. What was it like? How did you find the Enneagram
Yeah.
and did you accept it quickly? What was that finding it process and accepting who you are as a 3? What was that like for you?
So I think I've always really enjoyed the personality test and realizing like the different groups of people.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm a 3, I just love to like figure out people and how to master what's important to them and be able to unlock different ways of connecting with people.
Hmm.
And so when I first heard about the Enneagram, it was just another personality test, right? And
Yeah.
something that really clicked with me is it was Coop who brought it to me, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like really interested in like, tell me everything. Um, and so I was just reading through what the different types were
Mm.
and it clicked. It was like just so nice to have something that like, okay, I am kind of like this one, and then diving
Yeah.
into it more and then figuring out what my husband is and what my dad is and all my friends. It was just so nice to be like, oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
kind of normal. And so it was just really nice to have this
Yeah.
way to unlock some doors for people and how to connect with them better.
And in your career, you lead other people,
Yes. Yep. I
right?
have 14 sellers. Yep.
Yeah. You have 14 people that, I don't know, report to you. Is that the right word? Do they kind of
Yep.
report to you? You kind of
Yeah.
mentor them and they report to you and
Yep.
you help them in sales, in very big, serious sales. You're not like, I'm saying that as somebody who's been in sales. I'm like, I'm helping people sell, like a $25 cleanser. That is not what you're doing. It is not
Right.
that.
Right.
Right. Like they have to really know what they're doing. And it's,
Yeah. Yep. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, million plus like dollar software opportunities per year. And it can go all the way up to what, $10 million software.
Yes.
Like it's like big investments
It's
from
big
large.
investments.
Yeah.
And so I think when people are doing those large transactions, there's a lot that can come up for them in that process.
Yep.
Right. And so for you as a sales manager and mentor, do you feel like this helped you understand why certain things were easier for you than maybe people that you mentor, or why things came up for you, or why things might come up for your other people? Because you were going, oh, this is just another personality test to help unlock people. But it was also a really great tool to help you, like the motivation. Because I always look at like, well, what's the motivation? The motivation behind a three is this is a really good tool that could help me understand people and help them be more successful. Do you
Yeah.
feel that?
What's coming to
Yeah.
mind is
Yeah.
when I first heard sales and I
Hmm.
was encouraged to apply to be a seller.
Hmm.
Oh, like no, I don't want to be like a salesy person, right?
Because
Like,
it's the image.
yeah, right. It's like, I'm not that. And then when I really learned what it was, I
Yeah.
figured it out so quickly.
Yeah.
And what I tell my team and anybody who's in sales is it's 50% external, your customers, and it's 50% internal, the people internally. And so
Mm-hmm.
I know that what I do isn't isn't only me. It's a whole team of resources and
Hmm.
people. So I've
Yeah.
been able to use the resources that I have internally, be thankful for them, get them
Hmm.
recognized, figure out what's important to them, send a note to their manager, and then they're coming back full circle and
Yeah.
helping me on different things and saying
Yeah.
my name. Oh, Nikki, oh, she's
Hmm.
so helpful. And they come back and help me. So I'm not the smartest person selling this technology, right? I'm
Yeah.
using all these different groups and I've been able to figure them out in a
Hmm.
way to have them continue to help me and continue to
Hmm.
climb the ladder, right? It's been 8 years and
Yeah.
I'm on like my sixth gig here. So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool to have
Yeah.
unlocked those doors for other
Yeah.
people.
What, when you really dived in, you're like,
Mhm.
yes, I am a three. What shocked or surprised you most about being a three? Or like maybe also going, wait, other people aren't like this?
Um, I mean, I think the first thing was when I started watching videos, that stereotypical three and
Mm,
the flashiness, because that's not necessarily me.
yeah.
I don't really want to have the flashiness. I don't want to be like, oh, I have this new car or I have this
Yeah.
awesome job. Like, I don't want people to know that. Um,
Do
like
you,
I
but that's a
want,
little bit, I think when you're raised in the Midwest.
yeah. But when
Yeah.
you get through defining success for me, it's other
Mm,
people being impressed, right? It's like I'm kind of trying to be under the radar, but then once they find, they're like, oh my gosh. So I'll
yeah.
introduce myself to people, and then my friend will be like, yeah, no, she works for this company and she does this. And I'm like, yeah, and then that like just is so fueling, but I don't
Yeah.
want to be the flashy person up front, right? It's a little uncomfortable for me. I like it
Yeah.
to be like found out, and that's so filling.
But you like the shock factor.
I do.
We've
Yeah.
talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely do.
Yes. You love a little of the shock factor.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like a jack of all trades, right? Like
Yeah.
hunting
Absolutely.
and fishing and then going to New York and then flying over and seeing this exact and then, jumping back
Mm,
and being a mom and I'm on my quad and I'm in the dirt playing on whatever. So it's like nice to be able to
yeah.
be in all these different areas, like a chameleon, right?
Yeah. Yes. So because what is when you look at your life of all the things, you're wildly successful in your career and have the things that I think threes love. My brother is also a three. And I see that with him where he's not gonna be raving about his success, but when he is seen as successful and someone speaks to it, I think words of affirmation are really important to a three, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh
That
yeah, for sure.
yeah. Is your core love language words of affirmation? Is it up you're like,
I would say so.
yeah,
Yeah. We, yeah, just on the train of my husband for a second,
yeah,
he struggles with words, right? And
yeah,
so we just started like a little notebook where now I'm going back to high school, right? Like, hey, we're going to be writing each other in a notebook once a week, nothing
yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
but I just need to write back and forth. Hey, I appreciate that you just did XYZ and thank you so much for
Mm,
throwing this birthday party or whatever, right? And it
yeah,
just like fuels me that he even recognized it. And
yeah.
that will fuel me to do more for him. So we're
Mm,
kind of passing this notebook now. If I get that from my manager, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm working 500 times harder. So yes, definitely words of affirmation.
I see that with, I see that. So I think I've said to my mom said at times, like, why does your brother do A, B, C, X, Y, Z? Like, why did he go do this? Why did he go buy that? And I said to her, I said, being really honest, our very Dutch family where you're expected to be educated, you're expected to work hard, you're expected to be successful. We are absolutely horrendous at praising for what we consider the bare minimum of life that the majority of the world considers above and beyond. And so my brother tends to, maybe like overserve, like his wing two kind of comes out where he overserves and overhelps to some people in some areas. And I think it's because they give him that affirmation so much better than our innate family does. And I constantly tell them, like, we're not good at it. And I with my husband, like I'm so bad. Like if you will tell, because he's a 9, so when he feels safe and secure, which he does in all areas of his life today, he lives his ideal dream life right now. I it's like a conscious thing for me to, I mean, as an 8, I'm like, what, you want a cookie? Like, congratulations, you did your job today that you absolutely love, and then you got an A in your most recent college class that you should get an A because, like, why wouldn't you get an A? I don't even like, what do you want me to clap for you? And it's so hard for me to go, yes, actually.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really do because even if I get that feedback,
Hmm.
like obviously you did good or whatever,
Yeah.
it's almost defeating because
Hmm.
it I worked so hard to get that praise. And I don't necessarily
Yeah.
need the whole world to see that I got this award or I got this praise or this nudge, like, hey, that's,
Yeah.
attaboy or whatever. But I worked so hard to just
Mhm.
have my husband in this case, right? After
Yeah.
scheduling this whole thing or putting together this, just to say, hey, that was really impressive. You organized that so well.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm working on not needing that, but it's
Yeah.
hard to, right? So it's like, hey, I need
I
you to like
mean,
thank me for that.
yeah, but I don't even think that it's bad. I mean, I think maybe it is being okay with that. It's giving yourself that permission to let the people that matter in your life know that it
Yeah.
matters when they speak to that, right? That it carries so much weight. And that's, my brother is planning this ginormous truck show. He said he was doing this truck show, and I thought it meant he was lining up the semis that he owns, I guess, and people are gonna come look at them one day. It's not that. It's like this 3-day extravaganza where he rented out the entire county fairgrounds, and there's people coming in from all over the country and vendors and food trucks and I get
But he
and
won't
like
say that. He's just like, I'm just doing this truck show thing. But it's
he
like,
didn't
holy cow.
Nikki, he didn't say any of that. He
Yeah.
literally his wife came to visit.
Right.
And I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a Facebook page. Like, didn't he? I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought he's lining the semis up in front of
Yeah.
his company that he owns, and people are gonna like look at his semis or
Right.
something dumb like that.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. And I was like, so
That's
then
the shock. That's the shock and awe. Like, oh my
yeah, I was like,
gosh, what?
whoa, what? She's
Yeah.
like, there's like, I was like, you guys need merch. She's like, well, like he's hired all these people to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what is? So then, as his
We live for
sister,
that. We
the
love
Enneagram 8, I was just mad. I'm like, I
Yeah.
run events all the time. Seriously? You didn't even tell me how big this is. You didn't ask me to come help. And he's like, well, I just thought you would want to come and see it. I'm like, you
Aw.
didn't. I thought, oh my gosh. So now I obviously have marked out all of the days and got plane tickets to make sure I fly and see this because if I do, he wouldn't say this, but I do feel like if I didn't come, that would probably hurt his feelings.
Think so. Like
Right?
but he wouldn't tell you that. I
No.
don't think, or I wouldn't. I'd be
I
like,
don't,
it's
he would
fine.
not, oh, he wouldn't tell me. No, but I think it matters, right?
I think it matters.
Like I know it matters to him. Like it matters to him that I spend time with his kids and wife, but he's not going to say if I don't.
Right.
Can we
Because
talk about that? Can we talk about like when
yeah,
people hurt y'all's feelings and your feelings are hurt, but you don't show that your feelings are hurt and you don't
no.
say that your feelings are hurt, but your feelings are
No.
hurt, right? Is that
I
a thing?
think we have like a very core feeling of wanting to look like everything's okay. Like, we've got this. We don't need other people. Like, we can figure this out. And if
Mhm.
you don't want to participate, I'll be
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
deep down, it would have meant so much that you were there, right?
Yeah.
Like, deep down, it would have like really mattered that you were attending, but like, I'm good. I'm cool. We're good. You can't make it. I understand you got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I, now age 32, I've kind of figured out, like, even with family, right? I
Yeah.
moved from Colorado back here. Y'all don't want to come and hang out? Fine. If I don't want to go to your stuff, fine. And I
Yeah.
know that you are going to be thinking or saying whatever. And I've kind of gotten into that let them theory a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it just is very fueling
Yeah.
internally. Like, man, I really thought my sister would come, or I really thought she would want to
Mm.
participate.
Yeah.
But we also understand if you can't, right? Like, we're trying not to have really high expectations for other people
Mhm.
because we have enough expectations just on ourselves to like really
Mhm.
perform there. So,
Okay. So I have no clue on this. You guys expect a lot out of yourselves as far as like performing and
right,
doing well in life,
right.
right? Do you expect that out of others?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I think we're so adaptable
Mhm.
that I mean, we almost are like, oh, I don't think that you're going to be operating at the level that I am. But if
Mhm.
I'm going to put my name on the line for you, like my sellers, for
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
I'm putting my name on the line for them. If someone comes to me and wants to argue about them, I'll go to bat for them.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that they are actually working their butts off, or if they did mess up, they have a really good reason for why they messed up, right?
Yeah.
Or they can come to me anytime and I'll still fight for them. So
Yeah.
I don't think that they're at the standard that I am because I just have so much passion and drive, like at
Yeah.
work. I
Yeah.
don't think that I'm better than them necessarily. I just think that I really take everything pretty
You know that
seriously.
most
Want
people
to.
aren't going to push themselves at the level that you push yourself.
Right. I want them to have a good balance. I know that they have
Mhm.
life. They have other things too, so I'm not
Yeah.
expecting them to put in 150%, but I would ask that they're putting in, 100%
Yeah.
if they're in it, like they're in it. I just
Have
overdo it sometimes.
have you grown though to realize that? Like, did you understand right away in your position that you were doing 150 and that not everyone could do your 150? Or did you have to kind of learn and grow that? Not to expect the same level out of others as you expect out of yourself.
I think that's kind of hard because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't always been the 150 at work, for
Yeah.
example. So I think sometimes, like, I've been on the other side, so I have like a lot of empathy
Mm.
with it. Like, I get it,
Yeah.
and I probably give people too many chances to figure it out.
I think my brother does that. Here's a double-edged sword I feel like I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
I feel like here if I this is what I wish people understood about threes is as much as on the outside as you guys are working a million miles an hour to achieve big things and you do love the fun. I see this you and my brother both have this in common where it's not like the things that you love are you love the y'all both love the toys.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Like the
Yeah.
quads and the thing, right?
Okay.
And like, yes, y'all love those things. And if you're going to get them, you're going to get them like with the bells and whistles. You love the nice,
Yeah.
yes,
I like the luxury, like, but I don't necessarily want it to look luxurious.
yes.
Like,
Yeah, it's like on the outside, it looks like a truck, but on the inside,
yeah.
it's got that desk that folds out for you, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I
Yeah.
just have an F-150, but really, it's like, yeah, it's got, yeah, bells and
You
whistles.
get on the inside
Yeah.
and it's got all the things. And so
Right.
I think people externally see that about you. But what people don't see that I've watched my brother all of my life and that I know this about you is people do not understand the depth at which you care about your people and how you give them a million chances. And even when you've helped them a million times, you will help them a million times more.
I really will. And it's so satisfying when
Yeah.
the 10 that I'm working with
Hmm.
specifically on something, they just do a little bit or they get a little,
Yeah.
it clicks for them for a second. Like
Yeah.
that is so satisfying, even
Yeah.
beyond success and money. I just gave a enormous commission check to one of my reps, and
Hmm.
that felt so good. Like,
Yeah.
of course, I'm envious. I'm like, man, I've never seen that much money in a year, right? Like, it was like, but to get that, to have part of that, to have hired him 6 months ago, like, and
Yeah.
watch him get that, like, that is so filling for me. Like,
Yeah.
that's success, right? As
Yeah.
and being able to coach him the last 6 months, he actually, well, he just started not too long ago, so
Yeah.
I'm just really proud. Like, man, that guy's on my team, and I helped
Yeah.
him get to that point.
Yeah.
And that's the same
Like that is
person.
also success to you then. It's not just your things and your achievements and your benchmarks. It's also, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the
And
people in
even
your
with
life.
Winston, my little 4-year-old, unlocking that door, or my husband figuring something out and being able to master it. My
Yeah.
husband's the guy that will like be coloring in the lines and then he gets outside the lines one time and he's just done. So like
Mm.
encourage him back to like, okay, let's try this,
Mm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
success there.
Yeah. So with a three, with the whole success thing, one of their core weaknesses, everybody has like a core weakness, right?
Mhm.
And threes is deceit, and it's deceiving themselves into believing that they are only as valuable and worthy as the image that the world sees.
Sure.
Yeah. How do you, like, I think if you were talking to a three and you were trying to meet them in the middle and help them be easier on themselves, like how has that journey been for you of learning to be a little bit easier on yourself, that you people don't love you just because you are achieving things and you're capable and
I think I've just like mastered who I allow to give me that feedback. Like
oh,
over time, I've
okay.
eliminated or minimized the amount of
Okay.
time that I spend with those people
Yeah.
because I do
Mhm.
feel there's a level of
Yeah.
failure on my end for allowing that person to come into my life and
Oh,
share that
okay.
advice. And so
Okay.
I almost am harder on myself only because I've opened that door to allow that person to say something to me. And so unfortunately, I haven't figured that out because
Mm.
when I
Mhm.
still get it, it's like, how did I
Yeah.
get to this point with this person to
Yeah.
allow me to hear this? And it's so defeating. It'll take me out for a while.
Yeah.
Like,
But you don't look at them of like, okay, they don't even actually know what they're talking about. Oh, well, with what they said, you really are looking more internally at how in the world did I let them in and let them say this?
and let it affect me that much.
And so you kind of are you beat like a little bit of beating yourself up
Yeah.
because you are letting what they said get to you?
Yeah, and it's not like a first offense, right? It's someone who's
Yeah.
done it multiple times that I got too comfortable chatting, right? And then I
Hmm.
let slip maybe a couple things
Yeah.
that were a little vulnerable in my life. And all of a sudden, it's like,
You let them behind the curtain, right? I always say threes are behind this curtain. They're
yeah,
like the Wizard of Oz.
yeah, yeah.
And you're like, dang it, I shouldn't have let them behind the curtain. I let them see what was behind the curtain, and that's on
I
me.
shouldn't have shared that. I shouldn't have brought that up. I shouldn't have talked about that. I
Yeah.
got comfortable. I got too comfortable. And
Yeah.
then
So how do you work through that then with yourself? And to the point
I
where
think I go straight into the 9 peacemaker, eat ice cream, and then try to wake up the next day and forget about it. I
you're
mean,
like, I numb out a little bit and I actually black out and I forget that it even happened.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm working on that. I'm like, no, moving
Mhm.
on, moving on. To let them.
Mhm.
I'm like, just let them do whatever they're gonna do,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna move
Yeah.
on and just keep going because I know that I have such good intentions, and that's
Mm.
been key, right? So that
Yeah.
would be like part of my advice is
Yeah.
just having so much confidence in yourself and the person that you've worked so hard to become
Yeah.
and be just like a good human that
Mhm.
if they take it the wrong way or share it with the wrong person, that's on them and
Yeah.
I'll have some cleanup to do, but I truly
Mhm.
have as great of intentions as possible. Like just
Yeah.
having that like
Yeah.
core love for myself through God, like knowing that I'm just
Mhm.
truly trying to be like the best person ever. And, maybe I said one or two wrong things and let too much advice come my way, but just moving on, So how to say that? Just trusting myself.
So when a three it feels safe and secure, they go to the six. But when a three feels a little stress, they go to
Mhm.
the nine. So
Mhm.
and we nines tend to kind of numb out. So
Yeah.
what does going to that nine look like for you as a three?
Like pint of ice cream, Netflix, binging.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
you
always say
want
like,
to do
what's your
that?
numb of choice? I love asking threes that. What's your numb of choice?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the ice
Yeah.
cream, right? Is that
Well,
like an answer?
yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, you should put that. We should add that to your Enneagram 3
Oh yeah,
must-haves. You
that's
need
true.
a, do you need a backup of Ben and Jerry's in the deep freeze?
I actually try not to keep it in my house because I am thinking about it all the time.
Oh,
It's unhealthy. But it is like every once in a while, it's so nice to just like, I'm going for a drive and I'm gonna go grab some ice cream.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I call it my cigarette, which is kind of funny,
yeah,
but it is. It's just so like I gotta get away. I need to just like numb out for a second and
yeah.
go and watch a show, like just like a reality show where I see
Mm,
people being crazy people, and I'm just thankful I'm not in that
yeah.
life.
I love that. I mean, I can even my wing nine, like I can resonate with that because it's not. I think that where we go in stress gets a bad rap, and people think like, oh, that's bad. As an eight, we go to a five in stress, and I tend to resource manage big time. And it's knowing that that's by God's design. Like it is not a bad thing that you're going to that nine. The what is bad is if you wake up 6 months from now and you have stopped achieving and you've stopped going after things and you are still sitting on your big comfy couch with 27 empty containers of Ben and Jerry's. Like that's the problem.
Happened for a few days. Yeah.
Yes,
It's bad.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like depending on the situation, we can entertain a 30-minute drive to go get a little cone,
Yeah.
or we
Mhm.
might need a weekend. We might
Yeah.
need a weekend to be able to get through this. And so I want people to know that it's not your three going to that nine. It is not bad. It is where we go. I think our stressor for our
Yep.
Enneagram was God's design of like, this is where we kind of go independency on him, kind of
Yep.
surrender.
Just own it, be in it, and you'll
Yeah.
get back out of it.
Yeah. Go to coffee with it.
Yeah.
Maybe have a little weekend at the spa with it. Just don't build a mansion with a moat of
Hmm.
alligators around it and
Hmm.
live there.
Yeah.
Right. But it's okay. It's okay to go to coffee with it or visit it. So, when you ha- have to deal with failure, which I know we don't really want to talk about, but as a three, when you do experience failure, what does that do with your self-worth? Because success and the image of success and achieving is everything. So, like, let's say you don't hit your numbers, or one of your people that worked so hard and you've been working with them, helping them hit their numbers, and they miss their numbers. Do you feel that in your self worth? She's like, I feel like, why do we have to ask this question? I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I think teaming wise, like team wise or other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
failure, I'm the cheerleader. I'm like, this is
Mm,
okay. Like, we're gonna
yeah.
pick back up and we're gonna run with this. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this, this, and this. I'm making a plan, right? With
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Same with Winston, same with my husband, my parents, right? Like, okay, like you lost your job. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk through like what do you actually want to do? This is a great reset, right? Like I am the person to come to
Yeah.
when crap hits the fan. Like
Yeah.
I can help talk off a ledge. I'll make a plan.
Yeah.
I'm not so good at just like sitting in the sadness and just like
Mm.
moping about it. I don't really do well with that. I'm like, we're wasting time here. Let's like make the plan.
Because it's inefficient. It's not like you're
Yeah.
pain avoidant. You're like, we are being, because threes love efficiency.
Yeah, I want to fix stuff. Like, let's figure this
Let's
out.
keep moving so we can keep
Yeah.
achieving in
Yeah.
life. And
Like,
we're
okay,
sitting here
cool.
sulking.
Yeah. If it's
Yes.
me and
Yes.
I am the one who messed up,
Yeah.
that will probably push me to the nine. Like
Mhm.
that is really tough for me,
Yeah.
especially if people are wanting to talk about it. I am not interested. Like
Because that's people going, We're behind the curtain with you, seeing that you messed up. And now we want to talk about the
Oh,
mess behind your curtain.
no thanks. I'm fixing it. I'm getting it. Let me fix it. I'll make it right. Like,
Are you
no.
like, okay, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
out of
yeah.
here, yank the curtain shut and
Right.
start
Yeah.
cleaning up your own
Yeah.
mess?
Nope, nope, nope. Get
Yeah.
out.
No
Get
one's going to be behind the curtain with me on this.
No, I messed it up. I'm gonna fix it. Like,
Mm.
I think if it's not fixable, that's when the self-worth really goes downhill. I've got to
Yeah.
quickly find like the positives from it, right? Because I do truly think that you're
Mm.
learning through the failures. So
Absolutely.
find the positives, make a plan, like
Yeah.
figure out who can help you out of it, who you can trust.
Absolutely.
Like that's a big
Mm.
one.
Yeah. And was that a learned behavior?
Yeah, I don't think that was natural.
Yeah.
I think failure before in childhood
Yeah.
times was you are unique and in a bad way and nobody else is like you, and for
Mhm.
you to be messing up and not clicking with this, like you need
Mhm.
to figure it out because
Mm.
you're terrible. That was
Mhm.
like the
Yeah. Because
you
the
just had to fail.
wounding, yeah, the wounding message of a three is it's not okay to have your own feelings and your own identity. You
Yeah,
feel that.
yeah.
Can you talk about that? Because I, as a non-three, I'm like, what does this even mean?
um
And as an eight, I'm like, I don't even understand. What? Yeah.
like even who I am today
Mm.
is a makeup of all of the people that I've met over time and what
Mhm.
I've learned to be good and what has gotten me
Mhm.
positive reactions, right? So,
What has
Mhm.
gotten you positive reactions, like that positive reinforcement?
Right,
Like I did this and somebody told me I was good, so I'm gonna keep that.
right. Like going back to school days,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with the wrong crowd was not a healthy thing with me
Yeah.
because I was with this crowd and I did this, and I was with this crowd and I did this. And like I was trying to click with all these different people, and it was
Yeah.
very unhealthy wanting that like attention
Yeah.
or coolness. As a three, I would want to be cool and do things that weren't good, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Because you
really,
thought it looked cool.
yeah, I'm like, I'm going to fit in with this group. And I knew how to fit in with the group, or I thought I did. And then it was like, it didn't get me in the right direction. So to have this big shakeup where I left my family, I left all my friends, and I went to college 5 hours north and
Mm-hmm.
knew nobody.
And you got
I,
to remake yourself.
right.
I will say I watched my brother in high school do antics and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Just silly things.
Was it yes, I'm literally why are you like why are you hanging with these people? Why are you doing these
Yeah.
dumb things? Was it just kind of that? Like you were it was almost like the attention for affirmation or just
Yeah. Just trying to be cool and figure it out and
yeah.
wanting to meet new people and like master them. And then I'd move to another group. Like I was in band, golf, cheer, track. Like I was all over the
Yeah.
place with things that I did. And then
Yeah.
thankfully, I've been able to fall into the right crowd and
Yeah.
I found out who God was through mission trips and then
Yeah.
mastered that and kind of directed the rest of my life and through my
Mm,
high 20s and now low 30s, right?
yeah. I
Thank
was
thankfully.
standing on a balcony a couple years ago with my brother in Hawaii, and he was like, "Yeah, these people could just see me now and see, that what I've done and my success and whatever." And I was like, "Well, first of all, you still live in our hometown. They probably see you. But second of all, who are these people and who cares?
Yeah. I
Do
have
you get?"
no interest in seeing anybody from high school. Like that, I
Yeah.
do not. I go back to my hometown because I get gas on my way up to my folks. I'm like, I'm good. I do not
Yeah.
need to run into anybody. It is
Because you
like,
don't want to. You're like, I do not. I want to avoid that.
yeah, it's like weird. And I'm sure I wasn't that bad. I just
Yeah.
feel like, the three things I can think that were silly, like taking a Gatorade from the cafeteria and getting caught or something, right? Is like
Yeah.
so, ugh, it's just
Yeah.
cringy.
Yeah.
Um, but there.
Does it a little bit matter to you though? Like, let's say somebody who knew you as the Gatorade stealer
Hmm.
saw you now as the successful person that you've become at a really young age. Okay, at 32 years old, she's not going to say it. You are very well accomplished for being 32 years old. I'll say that.
I
Yeah,
I
she's not
still
gonna say that.
like, I still think, like, they're gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, they're a fraud." Yeah. Like, I
That's how
don't
you feel?
yeah, like, I don't like,
Oh my
how did she
gosh.
get there? Like, you know, I don't need to go back to that because it's just a not like, I don't know. I
So
just don't
you almost like the lack of acknowledgement thing and not shouting it because there is a fear that people will think that you're a fraud.
yeah, I don't need to, like, post anything or be friends
Yeah.
on LinkedIn with any high school people, or I don't like, that's a different
Mhm.
Nikki, right?
Mhm.
But then when I think of childhood Nikki,
Mm.
I am proud. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, you did it, girl.
Yeah.
Like, you figured it out. You
I
figured
mean,
the game of life out."
15-year-old Nikki would be like, what would 15-year-old Nikki think?
She'd be like, "You got out of it. Good job." Like, you'd be
Yeah.
proud, but, yeah,
Yeah.
she's not interested in hanging out with those people, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. A
And
very
that's
you did
okay.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am thankful for
Yeah.
that time and for being
Mhm.
a little mischievous because
Mhm.
I'm not interested in doing that again, right? Just
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
appeasing people knowing that it might be on the bad side, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
interested in that now. I'm
Yeah.
interested in appeasing people for the good and
Mhm.
doing good things. And I'm
Mhm.
like so proud of that. That
Mm.
was a lot of work. I didn't
Mhm.
have God then.
Yeah.
I didn't know that world. My parents were both religious growing up, but they didn't expose us to that really.
Yeah.
And so to have found that kind of on my own and flat irons and found like a true
Mm.
inner circle that like at their core just love me,
Yeah.
even though I've shared all these Gatorade stories with them,
Yeah.
they just truly like love me for me. That's how I
In
can
spite
like
of.
be true.
Oh, what does that feel like as a three to let people behind the curtain and they love you in spite of everything they see back there?
I've only got two of them.
Mm.
Like and even that, right? Even that, like my best friend, right? Sharing with
Yeah.
her things that I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh, why did I share that? And then I'm like, is she gonna call me again tomorrow? And she still does, you know. So like we've been through a lot, and obviously
Yeah.
you're really, really awesome friends with her too. So you know her so well.
Yeah.
Um,
She holds no judgment on that.
I
You know what I
know.
mean?
And
I just like
even if
that's
she
my
feels a
favorite
little,
thing.
it's like she's still there.
Yeah. I
But
think
she's been there.
but I think that's like the goodness of life is finding those people that you let behind the curtain and they see, your messy closet
Yeah.
and they love you regardless and don't care. Genuinely, they genuinely love you in spite of and do not care. And I think that, I think that especially for a three who always worries about image, right? How does this look? Has to feel just like the greatest gift. Yeah,
That is the best.
that is
Like
the
just
best.
letting loose and having fun and being
Mm,
silly. And I'm a very like adrenaline focused
yeah,
person. Like I
yeah.
want to be
I did
wild.
get that from all the quads and things.
Yeah.
Like the people don't know what quads are, like four-wheelers types of like
Yeah. Four wheelers.
basically.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're Midwest people. We know what we're saying, but other people are
That's
like, what are
true.
they saying?
Yeah.
Yes, like
Quad.
the toys, things like that. Yeah. Um, that makes me think, I remember going over to, I was back home and went over to my brother's and I just like plopped down on the couch with the boys and he has two boys. We're roughhousing. I mean, he has two boys. Okay. Anybody that has ever had two boys, two tiny little, they were three and they're probably 3 and 7 at that time, maybe three
Okay.
and six. Oh, and boys are they're getting ready to come to our house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, two boys coming. Like, what can I tie down? Because boys will be boys. But I remember, I'm probably making a bigger mess, honestly, with the boys and the dog. And I remember him like picking up the toys around me. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like the boys just make such a mess with the toys. And I was like, I didn't even I don't even know what you're looking. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just flew across the country to spend time with y'all. Two, I didn't notice. And like, again, I don't care. Like you, in three, everything you're picking up and putting away, we're going to pull it back out.
That's
You know?
okay. It's like so satisfying to like take care of it for a second.
Yeah. But is that a thing though, where, for him, does he feel that? Like he feels the fact that like, oh my gosh, my sister's in town and she came over and the boys literally just dumped 3 bins of toys all over the living room floor and 4 hours ago it was clean and now it's a disaster. Like, what is that like for y'all? Is that a thing? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah.
right there with them.
You
Like
get,
and it's hard to just sit in the present. Like
hmm
after we're done eating dinner, same. Like I want to clean all of that up and have that all done and like now I can move on to the next thing. Like
yeah,
that is for
yeah,
sure. That is
yeah.
100%. Like that image conscious, like
hmm
you got people over, you want to keep it clean, but
Yes.
it is really hard to just
Yeah.
like, I'll clean it later. And
Yeah.
when I'm in
So
that zone, it's really good when I can
what
do
is it? I mean, so what, even with them coming, so like they're going to come and the boys are going to destroy the house, of which I don't care. Honestly, I'm so happy they're going to be here. You can destroy the house all day. The last, when they were here a year ago, there was some pavers in the backyard that they broke in half. And I refuse to replace these broken pavers because when I see them every day, it just reminds me that they were here and it makes me think of them. And so I love my little broken pavers.
Just reminding your brother of that.
Yeah, I know. I know. And I think, it might be that I'm a little I think I probably just because I'm not a three. So like what is something, it's like how is it or is it possible to even speak to him and it's like what could I say to him or how could I assure him and go, I don't care about the toys on the floor. I don't care about the broken pavers in the backyard. Like how do you help a three just slow down and take a breath and stop trying to check the boxes? And I have my friend Susan, I always say, Susan, I don't want to get to the next state on our road trip. I just want to watch the buffalo roam in the state that we're in. Yeah, like how do you say that to a three though? Like it's
Oh,
okay. I don't care that there's toys all over and the pavers are broken and that we've got a next state to get to. I want to sit in the middle of the mess that these boys made and I want to stop here in the national park where we don't even have cell phone service and I want to watch the buffalo roam. Like how do you say that to a three?
I think the only way to do it is if you start that conversation with, I've
Mm,
been thinking about this day and I am so excited. And
mhm,
there is one thing that would be so important to me that I want to ask you, and I know it's going to be hard for you.
mm,
It would mean the world to me if we could just leave stuff a mess. I don't want you to pick up. I want
yeah.
you to just leave it today. And I want to be okay with things being messy. I want to be okay with just sitting here and doing nothing. That would mean the world to me as their auntie.
Mhm.
Like, if you can genuinely say
Yeah.
that that means a lot to you,
Mhm.
I think that will fuel him, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm doing it for
Mm.
myself. I'm cleaning up. This is
Yeah.
important to me. I want you to think I have got it together. But if
Mhm.
I know that like that is important to your heart and you truly mean that, I'm
Mhm.
going to do everything I can to like, oh yeah, not picking up. We're going to leave this for
Mhm.
later.
Yeah.
And then I will work my ass off. Oh, sorry. To like
Now you can say it.
that you are happy. Like I will do that because that fuels me
Yeah.
to satisfy you.
Yeah.
It fuels me to make you look good because it helps me look good
Yeah.
because you look good out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so good. I can't, so they come next Saturday.
Mhm.
So this was like, of course, God's so good. Like what? Like I just knew. I woke up randomly one day and just knew that you had to be the three.
Aw.
I did. I'm not kidding. I like woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, Nikki has to be the
Yeah,
three. It was so random.
absolutely.
I love that. I cannot wait for them to get here and just to be able to look at him and go, I know that the boys are going to make a mess and that will probably stress you out because then you're going to worry that they're making a mess. But I've been looking forward to them making a mess since you guys were here 14 months ago. And I will miss the mess when y'all are gone. And like there are broken pavers in the backyard because I love looking at them because it reminds me that they were here
And
and that they're coming back.
reassurance that if they break something that
Yeah.
isn't okay, or I feel that it was too far, I will let you know. Like
Yeah.
I promise you, I will tell you.
Yeah.
If there's something that maybe they probably shouldn't be used sharpening on my walls, like that's one thing. But like it is really okay. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that feels
And anything that I really don't want broken, trust me, it is locked away.
yeah.
They
Yeah, that's
cannot
on
get
me.
to it.
Like if I left that glass vase out, that's on me.
Yeah, and I really feel that. I'm like, okay, there's at this point the um what day whatever day it is today, it is the 15th. Oh, it's the 15th. Oh my gosh, on Saturday. The one turns 8 on Saturday. He's
Mm.
our oldest. I know, he's in his space era. So we're gonna see the little observatory. We're seeing where the crater hit. Like we're seeing it all. Oh yeah. And then for
So,
the 4-year-old, we're gonna go see the dinosaur tracks.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
we're seeing all the things for
So
every
cool.
4 and 8-year-old boy would ever want to see.
Love it.
So yes, I mean, like to me, I'm like, if I choose not to put away something that I don't want broken, that is absolutely my own stupidity.
Yeah.
Because I told my husband, I was like, gosh, which TV do you think might get broken?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Just be voice. But I grew up with a lot. I was the first girl to be born on both sides, and there were uh 6 boy cousins born before me. So I was just born into this rough housing chaos of Midwest wrestlers. Yeah, so I'm like, boys are boys.
Yeah.
They're gonna break things in their own bones.
Yep. And they're gonna love coming to Auntie's because of that. Like they're gonna
I
remember how much crazy, wild fun they could just have at your place. So
I
that's
know. I mean, I have my perfect glass bins that we keep snacks in the pantry that are absolutely getting replaced with plastic
yeah, so
before
true.
they get here for
So
them
true.
to be able to go in there. I want them to be able to go in there and pull out whatever they want, eat whatever they want, whenever they want it.
Wow.
Of course, free of dyes and all that stuff. We're still sticking. I'm not letting them have like food dyes or anything crazy because that's torturing myself. But I want them to be able to have whatever they want to have and not worry about them breaking my my beautiful glass containers with the wood tops. So yeah, I'm not gonna be crazy. So okay, so we're gonna go over a couple conflict activators, which is like some triggers and a
Mhm.
little bit of how to get along with you. So these are what kind of piss off your threes, guys. But then we're gonna go over a few things that make it really easy to get along with them. So, number one, being blamed for someone else's bad performance or work.
Like it's not my fault.
What is that like as a manager? How does that feel?
Uh,
You know?
that's hard because like
Yeah.
I've done the coaching and I've done the training and the mentoring and I've given them all these resources and then they still are just like it's not clicking.
Yeah.
That is really tough because
Hmm.
it's holy cow, how come I cannot figure this out? How
Hmm.
come I
Hmm.
can't, and I did there, we had a big presentation and one of the reps hadn't done very well on what we call a QBR, a quarterly business review. And I got told that one of the VPs said maybe it's an FLM issue, maybe it's a first line manager issue.
Oh,
And
oh,
that,
literally, it's like this person isn't performing well, and somebody else was like, maybe it's a you problem.
yeah. But they told my manager that. So it was like two above me. They told my manager that. My manager said, that's what he said. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that sucked. And
That
so
got
I
it.
had to go call like 10 people. Like, you think it's me? Is it me? You think
Yeah.
I'm an issue?
Uh-huh.
So I like double check, like maybe it is. Like, give me some better resources. So
Yeah.
that's pretty easy for me to be like, well, if it's me, then I'm not being trained correctly. So, you know, I,
You gotta talk yourself through it a second, and then you can get
yeah,
to,
yeah.
yeah.
But that
Yeah.
sucks, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay, I
Because
did
that
my
kind of goes into not looking good and being embarrassed.
yeah, but that
Right.
I'm able to like connect it back to like, hey, I'm doing the best I can and trusting myself
Hmm.
that I've done as much as I can. So just
Yeah.
ensuring that I trust myself, that I work my tail off for this.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
And would you think that that's a learned behavior, right? Where you have learned not to
yeah,
immediately leap to a pint of Ben and Jerry's, but go, wait a minute here.
yes, yes. Yeah, I
Okay.
think I've learned to get better at my response there.
Yeah. Okay. Another trigger. We talked about this, not being validated, affirmed, recognized, or praised for your accomplishments.
Yeah. So I also have learned to ask. So now when I see
Mm.
something that I want, or like I want
Yeah.
one of these manager awards that I just found. So I
Yeah.
wrote my manager and asked, can I have you nominate me for this or take me
Yeah.
into consideration for this award that I found? Here are the reasons. I just want to send you the reasons and I appreciate your consideration to submit me for this award.
Oh,
I mean, I
wow.
wrote the whole thing, right? And I sent it to
Mm-hmm.
him. I
Mm.
asked a couple people, like, is that weird to ask for a nomination for this award? But if I
It's
don't ask for it,
mm-mm.
I'm not going to get
No.
it. They're not
Let
going
me
to
tell
take
you
it.
why it's not. Like, as you're talking about this, I'm going, oh gosh, there are so many awards in my previous career that
Mhm.
I never gave, that a lot of people gave their teams because I was like, who cares about that? That's so stupid. Why do you need stupid awards? Because there's nothing in me that needs that.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. Like, and I never, I'm going, oh boy.
Yeah. I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got this award. I'm going to work 500 times harder now. Like I
Yeah.
just got affirmed that I am doing what my company needs and what my team
Yeah.
needs and what my boss needs. And I'm going to just
Yes.
work with so much more confidence
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
And
So,
same with this notebook with my husband, right?
mhm.
Remind me the things that I'm doing that you're thankful for, and I'll like continue
Mm.
to do that. I just need that like confirmation.
I
So if
need
I
to
need
put a
validation, I can
jar.
get it.
Yeah. So when sixes are in stress, they go to a three and they do this in not a good way, right? Like they perform to be accepted and loved, to not be abandoned. But when nines are safe and secure, they go to a three, right? And they need this. They like this stuff. And so I'm going, I need to put a jar on my desk with slips of paper where when I think of something my husband does, I write it on there, put it in there, and maybe that would be a good idea to give him for his birthday. And then he can have the jar. And when I'm sucking at affirming, as I usually do, because it is the last on my list of love language, like I have to work so hard at it, so hard. Because I'm just, I don't know. I was definitely raised in do you want a cookie for it? I honestly think it's probably because how I was raised. And I would even go, I remember calling my grandma and my dad like moments apart, telling them this really huge accomplishment that I got in my career with my business. And they were like, that's nice, sweetie, but you need to be humble. They both said it back to back in like a 10-minute period. And so I think that it made it even worse for me to affirm people.
It's interesting because I
And I'm like,
work
you all
so
need
hard.
this.
I work so hard. I still work so hard to like have my
Like,
father, for example, be proud, right? Like
yeah.
I still don't feel like I'm good enough necessarily. I know in the background, and
Mm,
how I figure that out is when I hear him on the phone with his friends and what he says
mhm.
about me. But like
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily get it, and I heard him multiple
Mhm,
times give it to other people,
mhm.
but not necessarily say that same thing
To you.
right about that same person. So he'd say something to them
Mm,
and say something positive, and then once he hung up, it was a different message, right? So
mm,
now there's so much where I feel like I need to go so extra on the affirmation. Like, no, like I really feel this way. So I'll do like
yeah.
handwritten notes, like whatever I can do to like really make sure people know I'm genuine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when I get it, sometimes I'm like, is that true?
Do you have a hard time accepting it? It could be some of that, like because of the environment that you grew up in, you even have a hard time accepting the affirmation, which is probably why you don't like to go above and beyond about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, oh, tell me more, Chelsea. Why do you
Mhm,
like me? But then
mhm.
it's like, it's not absorbed fully. Like, oh,
Mm.
she's just being nice. But I
So
like him.
is that a current growth spot for you, is to allow yourself to really receive an affirmation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can tell you, I talk to a lot of people all the time, right? I
Mhm.
talk to constantly hundreds of people. And I don't really like most people you're like 8 years younger than me, but you never feel 8 years younger than me,
Aw, thank you.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you've had a lot of the success that you have. I mean, yes, because you're an achiever and you're three and you work hard and you go after things, but I also think because you've done a lot of the really challenging work of digging deep and getting really honest with yourself, and you're just um, like you have high emotional intelligence.
Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah. But then, you have to receive that for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that with my brother too, though. I'm like, because it's almost like when you give a three a compliment, it almost like pings off of them. Like they need it, so it's good, but it also they send it away as fast as they took it in.
Hmm.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Interesting. So interesting. Oh, okay. This is another activator before we'll wrap it up here in a second, guys, but this one is a big one. I've seen this another friend of mine, we've talked about this a lot. When you're put in a situation where failure is a high probability. Basically, it's like if you've been put in a situation where winning is impossible, but you don't know it. And then you figure out you've been put into a situation where failure, it was like a 99% failure rate, or it was honestly impossible to win. You've been put in an unwinnable situation.
Just trying to think of an example.
Yeah. I got a friend who she was dating this guy, but what she didn't know was apparently there was also someone else that he was dating. Like they were early in the stages of dating, getting to know each other. And he came to her and just said, I'm choosing this person over you. And it was really emotional for her. And I was like, well, you got put in you didn't know that you were put in a situation where failure was a high possibility. Like you didn't know that you were even in a competition to win. And I was like, you do not like being put in an unwinnable situation.
Like even I'm thinking of we played a Family Feud game for Christmas and I was just clearly on the losing team. I think I like gave up halfway. I'm like,
Mm.
I've got something else to go do. I have a phone call. I'm good.
Yeah.
I just don't like, yeah.
Yeah. I,
Like if it's unfair too. I'm like, oh no.
mhm.
No thanks.
If I'm not, yeah, I was playing pickleball recently.
Ooh.
And I instantly could tell, like, when this other lady who was like, there was three of us that we were kind of new to pickleball, and this other lady was like wildly advanced. And I knew every single time that she was on the opposite side of the court with me, I was like, well, my only goal right now is to just have fun. And she kept wanting us to like retry. And I'm like, can we not do this? Like, I don't need to try to serve this 1.7 times. You're actually pissing me off because
Yeah.
winning is not even possible.
Yeah.
And even as an eight, I'm like, like this is so dumb. Well, I guess for me, it took the fun out of it.
Yeah.
For you,
Yeah.
you're like, I can't even win. For me, I was like, this is not fun. I
Yeah.
don't want to try to serve again.
Right. I could compare it to golf. I'm like, let's move on to the next hole. This
Yes.
one I failed at. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not having fun. And you're like, I couldn't,
Yeah.
this is impossible for me to win this hole. I'm
Yeah.
already like
Yeah.
7 over par. So,
Yeah.
like, let's just let this go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let's
Okay.
not be keeping track of score anymore. I'm picking this
Yeah.
up.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah. Totally get that.
Do not put threes in an unwinnable situation. Um, Okay, so how to get along with you? We don't affirm you by telling you that we like you. I like you. That's why I asked you to be on here. Express how proud you are of me. I'm always proud of you. You're very accomplished, and I think it's very fun to watch you. This one? Please don't distract or interrupt me while I'm working.
Yeah. That's fair, especially working from home. Like for the
Yeah.
most part, like I'm traveling
Yeah.
every
You
other
mean
week.
when I show up at my brother's shop and I interrupt him dead in the middle of doing something serious, he's not that entertained.
Right. Yeah. You are interrupting my flow.
And I'm like, look, I'm here. Don't you see?
Yeah.
He's like,
When we get in our flow, man, we're just going. So if it gets interrupted, the only person that can interrupt me at 10 o'clock before he goes to school is Winston. And
yeah.
then it's cute, but sometimes it's still kind of annoying.
Yeah, you're still like, I love you, but really right now?
And
Yeah.
he will look for the cue that it's okay to come over. Like he knows if
Yeah.
it's not okay to come over. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here.
I love that. I don't know if I just like never absorbed that one until today. That I'm probably actually, he's not finding it endearing. He's finding it annoying. Okay, and the last one, I welcome feedback as long as it is not overly critical or judgmental. And I just
Oh
know from my
yeah.
husband, Y'all need a good compliment sandwich, correct?
Oh yeah, I am a compliment sandwich queen for other people,
Yes.
for
Yes.
sure. Like
Like
I
I can't
want to
just,
do
but
that.
I can't just bring what's wrong. Like you have to have the sandwich, correct?
I really do
Yeah.
because it will throw me into the nine. It will throw me to the nine.
If I
Like,
only, because my husband has this too. I'm like, because he's obviously lives very in his three in our relationship.
mhm.
And he'll be like, that was such a backhanded compliment. And I'm like, there was no compliment. I was literally just saying this, don't do that. I don't like this. But he needs me to be like, you are the best on the earth. Please do this different. No one is better than you.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh,
You feel that?
yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, why can't we just say, don't do that again? Nope. Compliment sandwich, always with the three.
No, because I'm hearing it
Yeah.
as you are a failure and you suck at everything that you do. Like I
What?
need like affirmation that
Yeah.
I'm kicking butt and that you appreciate things that I'm doing. But like one thing that you could be even so much better at is if you did this and this, and I
Yeah.
really would really appreciate that, and it would just like make everything be so much better.
No.
Like everything else is flowing. Like I need that. So my seller,
Okay.
like even my mom, like if I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I love you. She's like, what do you want? Like I guarantee you right now, if I call her, she'll be like, what do you want? Like that's what like she after I say I love you or something, she'll be like, what do you need? Like
Oh my gosh. So apparently my brothers, which my brothers are threes and six, three and a six, so this makes so much
Mhm.
sense. They would always tell my mom, she only calls us when she needs us. And my dad, who's a nine. Oh my gosh. Okay. One brother's a three, other brother's a six, my dad's a nine. It's all right there. They all touch this. And all three of them would always say to my mom, she only calls us when she needs us. And I'm like, why else the heck am I calling you? What do you want me to, why, literally, why am I calling you? So I had to learn, hi, how's it going? How's your day? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so yeah, that's a thing, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
definitely a thing. It
that's
like
definitely a
helps.
thing.
It
It
helps
really
clear.
helps.
Like
You
I'm
feel,
still thinking about it, but I'm like, okay, but they really appreciate like all the
yeah,
stuff I'm doing.
yeah.
Like little jabs, like, okay, really, you didn't take the trash out, or like, wow, you didn't make lunch for his school, or like, I'm like, I'm just not gonna do it anymore. Like that's I'll just be like, never mind. I'm just not gonna.
Okay, so okay, last week Kobe stopped, and I swear we're gonna let y'all go in a minute, but like last week, Kobe stopped on his way home from work to pick up, I don't know, one item from the grocery store, one
Mhm.
very simple item. And he walked over to Sprouts, which is a small, itty bitty, tiny little marketplace. You know Sprouts. And he walked over to the cooler where we had just been 2 days before, and he got himself like one of those Zevia, like not unhealthy type of soda thingies,
Okay.
which on the shelf below that is an Olipop, of which I love getting myself a little Olipop treat every now and then. And he comes home with maybe it was like a head of lettuce and his orange soda Zevia. And I'm like, did you get me an Olipop? And he was like, well, no. And I was like, well, so you got yourself a Zevia, but you didn't get me an Olipop? And it was like, I was so mad about it. And he felt so victimized that I was saying that everything in the world that he does is wrong. And I was like, I just needed like you to see that you like when you went to grab yours, mine was 3 inches under it. But he has a really hard time with that. Like he goes kind of crazy when I'm trying to say this one thing that you did the next time you do that. Like this is what makes me feel like you care. Like bring me an Olipop or ask me if I wanted an Olipop or just assume that I do. And even if I don't want it today, I could have it tomorrow. It just because, like I couldn't even go get the groceries because I had a million things to do that day.
Yeah. You want me
So,
to do them
but
do them.
he felt very assaulted by me being like, why didn't you do this? And he was very upset.
It's Kobe. Thank you so much for getting that lettuce. Like we really needed it and I appreciate it. But I see that you have your drink, and next time I would love an Olipop. That would be so awesome. Thank you so much for everything you do. It's like fake, but it's like extra. You're like, I don't know. And then he'll be like, oh, I should have got that for you.
Okay, when we're done, I'm clipping this. I'm gonna be like, Caroline, I need you to clip that segment. I need you to text it directly to Kobe. Like, shooting it right. I mean, tomorrow I'm
Use
gonna
the
tell him, I'm gonna,
support.
at minute one, at exactly right at the, at like 59 minutes, I need you to start listening, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. I did not compliment sandwich it. There we go. So here we are. How about that? So in closing, what advice would you give to people who have threes in their life? And then what permission do you want to give your fellow threes?
Can I start with the permission first?
Yes.
Permission for fellow threes, I would say, is to
Mm-hmm.
limit the people that you have in your life. Like it is okay to
Mm,
minimize or limit
yeah.
those
Yeah.
that you need to, because I
Yeah.
think you just got to allow yourself to be you. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you have people who are saying things a lot, like it can really be defeating. It doesn't allow you to be like who you really are.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
that is the permission.
mm.
And then advice for people with threes in their life is to sandwich the feedback. I think that's great, right? And just to like, what do you need from me? Like checking in.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Right? Like just
Mm,
how are things going?
yeah.
What do you need help with? Like, is there anything going on in your life like
Yeah.
that I could help with?
Mm.
Um, yeah, because I think we really put a high standard on ourselves and figuring it out and just like carrying that weight.
Carrying all of it. Y'all just carry it all.
Yeah. Just being
Yeah.
like, well, how can I help? How can I help with your truck event? Like, how
Yeah.
can I, like, let me take
Yeah.
a rock off your shoulders. Like, I want to help.
Mhm.
And
That
like,
is the biggest
you know,
contention between my brother and I is he's like doing it all to carry it all to look like he's got it all together.
yeah.
And then me as an eight who like my whole world exists for the sake of my people, I get so mad like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Like they had some family stuff happen back in December and I was furious. And then nobody in my family even told me until I landed in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, in Wilmington. Like now I could do nothing. I was so mad. But it's like, I know this, I've got it thing that y'all do. And then I was just, yeah. I do think that's our friction is him wanting to be like, I've got it all to show that he's got it all. And me being as his sister and as an eight, being so mad, like, why didn't you tell me? All I want to do is help you. Yeah, definitely. That's our thing. That's our
We need
dance.
to ask for help more too.
Mm,
I think we just have low expectations on that sometimes. So, like,
yeah.
we know we can do it. So we'll just do
Yeah.
it.
Is it a little bit of admitting that he would need help would mean that he's not fully capable? Is that or what is that?
Yeah, admitting that yes, that's fair. And then also the risk that we ask for the help and then it's not perfect to what we wanted it to be. And then that
Mm,
awkwardness of letting you know that it's not exactly what we imagined it. Like it
yeah.
makes us look a little like,
You'd rather just do it
oh,
yourself.
yeah. And then we
Yeah.
asked and then we didn't use it. And then we feel like now we've got to tell you and it's kind of awkward.
Yeah. Mm,
But we're working on it. I feel
yeah.
like we're all working on getting
We're
better
all
at
working on it.
asking for help and telling people what we need and figuring out what we even like to do and not just doing it because you like it. But man, we are fueled by making sure that you love us and what we look like and how awesome we are. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, today was so good.
Aw, thank you for having me.
So good.
Yeah.
Just
I
so
feel like I
good.
rambled a lot, but I just really love this. So
No, it's
thank
like
you.
it's my favorite thing though. It's this is what people are loving about this series is that they feel like they're in the back seat with two people who are in the front seat talking about their Enneagram and they're absolutely loving it. And it's in the rambles that you say the things that people it hits and it resonates so deeply for them. So thank you for being on here and being vulnerable
Yeah.
and letting us peek behind the curtain a little bit.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Oh my
so
gosh.
fun. Thank you.
Well, all right, Al, like all things excellence fam, thank you for stopping in and listening all about our achiever friends, our Enneagram 3 friends. Thank you, Nikki, for coming today. We will be dropping her Enneagram 3 must-haves in our Excellence Edit email. So if you did not get that today, make sure you subscribe for that. And you can also request it and we can send it on to you. And remember, next week we will be back with our Enneagram 4s, the individualists with our friend Andrea. So you will learn about all of their uniqueness and their feelings. Thank you for listening, and talk to you next time, everybody. Thanks for listening to All Things Excellence. If something landed with you today, I'd love for you to follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave a quick review. It helps more women find these transformational conversations. And if you're ready for support with your next step, or needing someone to stand in the gap with you to figure out what that even is, I'd love to create that space for you, and my intro clarity call is a great place to start, because life is too quick and too full to have to figure it out alone. Until next time, All Things Excellence fam, thank you for listening.